It is Saturday of the second week of Lent, March the 22nd of the year of the Lord 2025. The Gospel is taken from St. Luke chapter 15, verse 1 to 3 and 11 to 32. Tax collectors and sinners were all drawing near to listen to Jesus, but the Pharisees and the scribes began to complain, saying, "This man welcomes sinners and eats with them." So to them, Jesus addressed this parable. A man had two sons, and the younger son said to his father, "Father, give me the share of your estate that should come to me." So the father divided the property between them. After a few days, the younger son collected all his belongings and set off to a distant country, where he squandered his inheritance on a life of dissipation. When he had freely spent everything, a severe famine struck that country, and he found himself in dire need. So he hired himself out to one of the local citizens, who sent him to his farm to tend the swine. And he longed to eat his fill of the pods on which the swine fed, but nobody gave him any. Coming to his senses, he thought, "How many of my father's hired workers have more than enough food to eat, but here am I dying from hunger. I shall get up and go to my father, and I shall say to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son. Treat me as you could treat one of your hired servants.' So he got up and went back to his father. While he was still a long way off, his father caught sight of him and was filled with compassion. He ran to his son, embraced him, and kissed him. His, his son said to him, "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I no longer deserve to be called your son." But his father ordered his servants, "Quickly, bring the finest robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Take the fattened calf and slaughter it. Then let us celebrate with a feast, because this son of mine was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found." Then the celebration began. Now the the older son had been out in the field, and on his way back, as he neared the house, he heard the sound of music and dancing. He called one of the servants and asked what this might mean. The servant said to him, "Your brother has returned, and your father has slaughtered the fattened calf because he has him back safe and sound." He became angry, and when he refused to enter the house, his father came out and pleaded with him. He said to his father in reply, "Look, all these years I served you, and not once did I disobey your orders. Yet you never gave me even a young goat to feast on with my friends. But when your son returns, who swallow up your property with prostitutes, for him you slaughtered the fattened calf." He said to him, "My son, you are here with me always. Everything I have is yours. But now we must celebrate and rejoice, because your brother was dead and has come to life again. He was lost and has been found." The Gospel of the Lord. This is one of the most beautiful parables in the Gospel of Luke, maybe the most beautiful. It tells us about how merciful and loving is God our Father. Too bad that in our mentality, in the way we teach, we always speak about a judging God, a just God, and we forget His mercifulness, how God is loving, how love is kind, how He treats His children. And the parable is addressed to the Pharisees who criticize Jesus because He is surrounded by tax collectors and sinners and eats with them. Jesus came to call sinners. This is why this parable instead is called the prodigal son, but could be named the merciful father. How he deals with his two children. The first one, he thought, being away from his father, he would be free. He would be happier. He could not stand his father. This is why he goes away, not with his own money, but with his father's money. Many times we go away from God our Father, but not with our own, because everything is given to us from God. Everything is an inheritance. He gives us everything, beginning with life, everything. And then he squanders everything in his life. Many times we also squander what the Lord has given us in things that we are not supposed to. And then he is in dear need. He's really needed. So he goes to the deepest moment of his life, the worst moment of his life. No? He had to take care of swine. For a Jew, to take care of pigs was the worst thing that he could do. But he's worse than pigs because the pigs eat enough, but he doesn't have enough to eat. But still, even in that dark moment, he knows that his father is merciful. So he goes back to his father because he knows. But he doesn't know exactly what kind of a father he has because he wants to be treated like a servant, like a worker, not like a son. But the father gives back his sonship. The father welcomes him. He's full of mercy. He feels compassion. He gives his dignity with the shoes, the clothing, and the ring. Because God the Father knows us, loves us. Remember that. We can always go back to Him. This Lenten season is a good season, a good time to go back to the Lord because God is loving, God is merciful. Please share this video with all your acquaintances from St. Luke the Great in Houston and St. Luke in Irving, Texas. May God bless you. Go back to the Lord. God loves you.